much indeed. That's very kind of you. And meet the author, this event is called. And quite a few of you I know very well and met long ago, but it's very nice to meet the rest of you. Now, meet the author, inevitably, and it's no surprise to you, I'm going to talk to you about the book. And the book is set in past history. In fact, the case was in 1961, when Wheatley was a young barrister, long since called to the bar. And in 1955, very soon after I was called to the bar, there was the case of Ruth Ellis. Ruth Ellis was the last person to be hanged in England, but it took a long time for the death penalty to disappear. In 1955, when she was hanged, hanging was the only penalty for murder of any kind, and one or two other rather obscure things as well, including treason. She was hanged in 1955, and for the comparatively usual sort of crime of shooting her boyfriend because he'd been having to talk to some other lady. And the fact that she was sentenced to be hanged caused a great furor in England, and there was a petition presented to the Home Secretary, signed by several thousand people and 35 members of the GLC, no less. In spite of that, it was turned down, and a great crowd gathered outside the prison where she was to be hanged by Pierpoint, the public hanger. And it was a big event. But she was hanged, and that was 1955. And it did cause an almost immediate reaction, because in 1957, 2 years later, they passed the Homicide Act, which was in force when I defended the lady at the Old Bailey. The Homicide Act said, well, yes, murder is murder, but we're going to divide it into two classes. Hangable murder, in other words, capital murder and non-capital murder. And ridiculously, in my own opinion, the division said that death by shooting was capital murder, and death by poisoning, for instance, was not capital murder. I thought that ridiculous because premeditation comes into this, and it's much more likely that murder by shooting would be unpremeditated, I thought and still think, than murder by poisoning. But anyway, that's the law after Ruth Ellis until 1957.